Out there, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a beautiful lesson today. Yeah, I've been looking at another great company for us to invest in. I want you guys to think about, the AI movement and, you know, the components of AI. This company that we're talking about today is a very important company because uh, it houses the storage part of AI. Last week I think we talked about the memory part of AI that you can invest in, but this week we're talking about a company that's built around storage. Yeah. Yeah, you need storage in order to uh make the AI revolution work properly. They got to have data centers, they got to have memory centers, and they got to have storage centers. And the company that we're talking about today is right dab in the middle of the AI boom that's taking place right in front of you right now. And that company is STX. Listen up, because STX is one of the wildest transformational and transitional companies happening in right now. It isn't your grandpa's hard drive company anymore. This is a data infrastructure powerhouse riding the biggest wave of the AI generation and the AI driven data explosion that's taking place right now. And what does a company like STX actually do? Uh, Seagate builds the backbone of the digital world. It's what you call mass capacity storage. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Enterprise, nearline, HDDSs, and SSDSs, high capacity drivers for hyperscale cloud. Yeah, they're the edge to cloud data platforms, storage systems for AI and for cloud, for gaming and enterprise workloads. This is the stuff that AI models, and STX is a giant in that area. STX is the data center uh, that cannot be functioned without. In other words, you have to have this company. Yeah, you have to have a company that holds storage. And this is what this company is all about. And the demand for companies like this, and this one is already set up, is exploding as we move into the future. Not slowly, but violently. It's exploding on the scene. And STX is the leader when it comes to storage. This is why you guys need to put this in your portfolio. We're going to get into it a little bit later, but let's look at their balance sheet. The balance sheet looks like uh, from the latest filing The financial data that I pulled up, they are sitting on 1.15 billion in cash on their balance sheet. Their debt is 4.18 billion in total debt. And you know, whenever I look at debt, I always want to find out why they have debt. Why does Seagate have debt? Well, Seagate's debt isn't a red flag, it's what you call strategic debt. They invest heavily in HAMR technology, a Mosaic platform, which is the future of what they call ultra dense storage. Yeah, they use debt to scale manufacturing, fund R&D, research and development, and lock in long-term cloud contracts. Yeah, that's what STX is doing right now. They're locking in long-term cloud contracts. They've been actively paying down their debt, including a recent redemption of 150.7 million last year, strengthening their capital structure. Their cash flow, talking about Seagate, STX, is printing cash as we look at this company. Uh, their cash is, their operating cash is 2.88 billion cash flow. They got 1.61 billion free cash flow. And the latest quarter, they hit decade high free cash flow thanks to the AI driven command that's happening right now. The world is changing into AI, and AI needs companies like this to store their data. And this is not just a data storage company, but it's a dense data storage company. AI storage demand is exploding. Seagate raised long-term revenue growth to 20% annually. Nearline capacity is almost fully allocated through 2027. Yeah, they're already at capacity almost entered into 2027 because everybody needs them, meaning customers already in 2026 is locked in orders for years ahead. The margin in this company is expanding with record non-GAAP gross margins of 47% in Q3. Yeah, in 2026. They have free cash flow is surging, giving them flexibility to reduce debt and return capital. The bulls believe that STX is becoming the NVIDIA of the storage world. And this is why I think you guys need to start buying fractional shares in this type of company. This is not financial advice, but this is a company that I'm leaning in, buying fractional shares on the dip for the future because the AI revolution is here and AI needs storage. Yeah, they said the bulls say that STX is becoming the NVIDIA. Think about it, the big dog of storage, a critical infrastructure play in the AI boom. But you guys always like to give y'all not only the bulls perspective, but I like to give you the bears perspective. What the bears have to say about this company, STX. You know, even the haters have to admit the numbers are crazy, but here's their angle. They say that AI demand could cool, reducing storage need. Well, if you think that AI is going to cool off and that you're not going to need storage in the future, you know, you can go along with the bears, but I don't believe that's going to happen. Okay, their HDA pricing could weaken if supply ramps too fast. That's what they say. They said that the HDD pricing could weaken if supply ramps too fast. They say the bears say that competition from SSDs, QLCs, and NANDs could pressure margin. Well, you know, their gross margins is already 47%. So that was a huge margin. So I don't really believe what the bears have to say about that. The bears also say that long bill cycles, they're talking about the billing cycles, 9 months plus for recording head wafers limits how fast STX can scale. And that could happen, but you know, why is AI AI? I just believe that AI is going to figure that out in the future. So I can't go along with the bears on that. But that is some of the things that the bears have to say. But even the bears have to admit Seagate STX is in the right place at the right time. And they're executing as of right now flawlessly as being the next NVIDIA in storage. I love it. So why should my young adults pay attention? Well, STX is sitting in the center of the AI revolution. Storage is sitting right there in the center of the AI revolution. They're already locked into multi-year cloud contracts right now. All the way up to 2027 is already full with contracts. I'm talking about government contracts and contracts that these big billion-dollar companies need is already locked in STX for the future. They're delivering massive revenue growth. Yeah, year over year, 44% return is huge. And it talks about, I believe, just like the bears have to say, innovation with the industry. They're leading the industry right now in storage density. Yeah, storage density. STX is leading the competition right now in storage density. This is why they're considered to be the next NVIDIA in the AI boom. They're generating huge cash flow, and you guys know I love cash flow. They're strengthening their balance sheet by retiring debt. Yeah, I told you earlier they paid 150 billion plus last year on their debt, crushing the debt down again to nothing going into the future as they own major contracts going into the future. This company is on the way, guys. This is one that you guys need to put in your portfolio. And we're going to look at it in just a little bit. This is what a modern tech transformation looked like. And on my final words to all you young adults, STX is no longer just a storage company. It's becoming a critical AI infrastructure giant. And young adults, you need to understand where the world is going, where AI is going, where data is going, where automation is going. You should be watching a company just like this company. We're going to get into, I'll break down the charts on the next video about STX. Also, I'll get into the fear index because the market has ran real good today. The market is on a run up. So we're going to get into the fear index and the charts on the next video that we put out about STX, because this is a company that young adults should be buying on the dip. Again, you guys, if you like these type of messages, share them out to your friends, like them, as we build a community of young investors learning how to invest in the future and learning how to double and triple our network every year. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Like, subscribe, share. I'll talk to you guys soon.